dramatic color, different. She's feeling a little different, a little spicy. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Emily, also known as Withredliips on Instagram, and today we are getting full glam. We are getting colorful. We are getting spicy. We're just getting all the feels today. I really didn't know what to film, and when I sat down, I knew I wanted to do color, so I grabbed my favorite palette, Norvina Volume 1 Pro Pigment Palette. That is a mouthful. Grabbed her and we created this look. So I really hope you enjoy the look. Be sure to tag me on Instagram if you do end up recreating this look. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you did like the video. Leave a comment down below letting me know what videos you want to see next. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It means the absolute world to me, and I appreciate every single subscriber that comes here, watches my video, likes my video. It really means everything to me. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Today's look definitely took a turn. I didn't know what I wanted to film today, but I knew I wanted to film, and then out of nowhere, I was like, you're doing color. So today I'm going to be grabbing the Norvina Volume 1 palette. This is all purple shades. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to show you the inside now. Definitely follow along with any purple shadows that you have at home, even if it's not this palette. This palette is just so pigmented, so blendable. It makes doing colorful eyes so easy because they're not difficult to work with. Purples and blues are one of the hardest shades to formulate in a palette, so these colors are absolutely beautiful and they blend really, really nicely, which is why I love using them. So we're gonna be using this today. So I already have my brows on and my eyes prepped with Soft Ochre Paint Pot. You guys already know. That's my favorite eyeshadow primer ever. So we're gonna get right into the palette. So I'm taking B5 and I'm pressing that on my outer corner and bringing it up into the crease. This is gonna be the deepest shade that we're working with today. And when I work with color, I like to lay down the darkest shade first and then have the lighter shades help to blend it out, because I want the most pigment and the darkest point of my eye to be the outer corner, especially when I'm doing something super smoky. So I'll just go back and forth with the shade. It doesn't really have to be neat at this point, or any point, because we're doing smoky and that really is forgiving when you're placing eyeshadow. But I'm just making sure that this is the deepest point of the eye. So now that I have that shade laid down on my outer corner and in my crease, I took a mixture of A3 and B4, and I'm going to help buff that shade out into my crease and begin to smoke it out. And this is on a slightly more fluffy brush, but it's still pretty dense because I don't want it going all the way to my brow bone just yet. We will get there momentarily, but for now, I want to keep it pretty controlled. And I'm just softening up the edges of that shadow. So now that I have the crease blended out the way I want, I'm going to take the shade B1 on an even fluffier brush. This is going to be the lightest purple. And I'm going to softly diffuse that into the crease and begin to really smoke out this eye look. I like to make sure I bring that shade onto the inner corner because I want it blown out all the way through. It's definitely okay if this goes up near the brow bone. If you don't want it to go up that high, you don't have to blend up that high. But when I do a smoky eye, I always bring it really high up and I extend it outward. It's a trick that I do because when I'm not using winged eyeliner, elongating the shape of the shadow helps give me that fake wing effect. And I really like the way it turns out. So now that the eyes look something like this and you are questioning why you are following my tutorial, we're gonna go in with the shade A1 and we're gonna apply that on our lid and brighten things up a bit. This is like a shimmery lilac shade. It's absolutely beautiful and one of my favorite shades in the palette. And I'm just packing that on with a small flat shader brush. With this step, I'm kind of giving myself a faux fake crease effect. I'm just bringing the shimmer shade up a little high. That's just to make my eyes look a little bit more open because they are hooded. You can definitely make this a cut crease look. I just want it to be a little bit softer than what a cut crease actually is. but I will be demonstrating some ways you can make this look like a cut crease without actually having it be a cut crease. If cut creases aren't something that you are completely confident in, this is a lot easier to do than using the concealer technique, in my opinion. Alrighty, now that that shade is on, I'm gonna go back in with that purple color and softly diffuse that over the shimmer, overlapping where the matte and the shimmer meet so that there are no harsh lines. Now that that's done, I'm gonna go in with the shade D5, which is just a matte black, and I'm gonna go ahead and press that on my lash line. I always do this step with either a black or a brown. For this look, you can even use a really deep purple just to give my eyes a little bit more definition without using an eyeliner. You can use a flat brush, you can use a pencil brush, anything that's small enough to get in the... This is why I love these palettes so much, because they're so easy to blend and so easy to use. You really don't have to mess around with the shades for hours and hours. I find that when I use other purple shadows, I really have to kind of manipulate them to get them to blend on my eye. With these, they don't skip, they're fully pigmented, they're beautiful shadows. Alrighty, so now to get that faux cut crease effect, I'm gonna go in with a pencil brush, and I'm going in with the shade D4, and I'm bringing that darker purple over into my inner crease, and I'm just creating a little line, but I'm still softly diffusing it. I'm just bringing it all the way over and blending it as I do, so it softly diffuses into the crease shade. And it's that easy. If you want to go ahead and take the shimmery purple that we used and clean up the dark shade to make it even more pronounced, you can go ahead and do that. And it's that easy. This palette is so easy to blend. It's so easy to work with. And I feel like in 5 minutes, we got a really dramatic, colorful smoky eye. Now we're not done yet. I'm gonna go ahead and put lashes on, and then we're gonna finish off the face and do the bottom lash line. I wanted to do eyes first for this look, just in case there was any fallout, but looking at me now, I got like maybe 2 little specks of fallout here and like nothing on this side. So that just goes to show how good the pigment is and how rich it is, that it's not even falling out onto my face, even though this is so dramatic. While I wait for my lashes to dry, I'm gonna get a little crazy on my lid, and I'm gonna take the Artist Couture Diamond Lights Finisher in the shade Spotlight Glitz, and I'm gonna apply that over the lid shade. This is gonna give it a really nice duochrome effect, and it is the shimmeriest pigment I've ever seen in my life. So I'm just picking up some of that pigment on a small shader brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray it with my setting spray, because this can get everywhere if you're not careful with it. You can also use like a glitter glue if you want to, but I find this works really well. And I'm just gonna go right on top and just press that over, because why not? This just brings the look to an entirely different level of extra. Mac Daddy, you did that. This is one of my favorite products in the entire world, because it just, if you want to be that person to just walk into a room and be like, I've arrived, get yourself Spotlight Glitz Artist Couture. Tell them I sent you. So by now my lashes are dry. I'm going in with Likely Makeup lashes in the style Blissful Baby. These are nice and dramatic and spiky on the ends, and for this look, we gotta be dramatic. Like, who am I kidding? So now that lashes are on, we could take a break from the eyes, finish off the face, and then come back and finish off the eyes afterward. So for today, I'm not going in with the NARS primer. I'm actually gonna go in with the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. This is a great dupe for the NARS primer. The only difference is this doesn't have SPF, and the NARS primer has SPF 35. So if you already have SPF in your foundation, maybe you don't care about SPF in your primer, but just letting you know, this is very similar to the NARS primer. So I just take that on my hand and I go ahead and I rub it into my skin, especially where I have more porous areas. So around my nose and my cheeks. I always put primer under my eye because, as you guys know, how many times do I say this in a video? My under eyes crease like crazy. So gotta prime under there and help it out. Help the creasing out. And this really gives you a beautiful luminous finish, just like the NARS primer, and it's a fraction of the cost. So if you are balling on a budget, don't let anybody tell you drugstores don't got good primers, because they do. For foundation today, I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear Foundation NC20. I don't even know if they make this anymore, but it is one of my favorite foundations. I think it wears so beautifully on the skin. So that is what we're going in with for today, and you will see how it wears on my skin. It is absolutely beautiful. I really don't have to be finicky with this foundation because I know if I apply one coat, it's perfect. That's the amount of coverage that I need, and it's amazing. There was a brief intermission as I went to go dampen my sponges because I'm a horrible planner, clearly. But we're back. So I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Light Sand and go ahead and highlight my under eyes and center of the face. And then just to dull down how light that is, you already know, 50 Neutral Pink from Urban Decay. I love this combo and I can't stop using it. And I know it's so silly to use two concealers. Emily, why can't you just love one concealer? I don't know. I've always been like that though. Like I can never just wear one lipstick. I have to wear like 50. Well, today I'm just wearing one because I already know what I want to wear, but typically it's like 4 lipsticks and 2 foundations and 2 concealers and 2 bronzers. It's like it can never just be one thing. So as I blend this out with my beauty blender, I'm just gonna go ahead and create a little bit more of a line for the eyeshadow and clean that up a little bit. It's okay if it's still a little messy because we are gonna be blowing out the lower lash line, and that is where we're gonna clean up the upper lid, if that makes sense. I'm going in with the Huda Beauty baking powder in Cupcake. This powder is just so finely milled and I love the way it gives me an airbrush finish to my under eye and my overall complexion when I use it. Does anyone else's nose run when they powder their face? Because it always happens to me and I have no idea why. Oh gosh. So to finish off the face today, I'm actually going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Stone Rose Beauty Face Palette. It has bronzer, blush, and highlight in it. I know this was their holiday collection for 2020. I don't know if it's still available, but they do have other face palettes on their site that I can link below. This is really beautiful and it has everything all in one. So if you are someone that's on the go, if you're a mom, if you're not really big into makeup, but you do like to put yourself together every day, this is perfect to have because literally everything's here. Shadow, bronzer, blush, highlight, and it's beautiful. When I apply it to my skin, you'll see it is so pretty. So I'm going with shade 4 for the face, and that's the bronzer. And I'm just gonna go ahead and bronze my skin as I normally do. Make sure to get under my jawline to my neck. For all of my fake tanners out there, always make sure you bronze your jaw into your neck, especially when your tan is fading, so that way it doesn't look splotchy. Because I've been there, you've probably been there, we've all been there. And if that wasn't enough bronze, I'm gonna take a duo fiber brush, a more dense brush, and I'm gonna go into the very hollows of my cheek, and I'm going to give that a little bit more depth and give myself a little bit of a contour. Rule of thumb for contouring, top of the ear going towards the mouth, but you want to kind of just focus on this third of the cheek. That way you don't bring it all the way down because it can literally look like a 5 o'clock shadow. So we want to lift the face, not bring it down. I love this face palette. I've only used it a handful of times since I've gotten it, and I was cleaning out my makeup drawer and I found it and I was like, this is gorgeous. Charlotte Tilbury's products are unmatched. So I pulled it out and I was like, we're using this today. And look, this is just the bronzer part. So I'm gonna go in with the 2 middle shades. They are the cheek shades 5 and 6. Tapping a little bit of that off because it is really pigmented. And right on the apples of the cheeks she goes. I love the way my complexion looks. This palette is so good. You know when you put on your complexion and you're like, this is cute, and you really start to feel yourself. I'm feeling myself. I feel cute. So as per usual, before I put on my highlighter, I do like to set my face with setting spray. I'm going to use the Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Spray. This isn't sponsored by Charlotte Tilbury at all. I wish it was, but it is not. I just really love her complexion products and her lip products. Honestly, she's onto something. They're just really good. There's really nothing else to say. So I'm going to go ahead and spray my face with that. Now I'm going to go in with shade 7 in the face palette. It's their highlighting shade. This highlighter is definitely more of like a glow from within highlighter, but with as dramatic as this look is, I don't need a blinding highlight. I think something more soft and romantic actually complements the look really well. So I'm really happy to be using this highlighter. I need to use this face palette more often. This needs to be like an everyday thing. I'm sorry, Charlotte. I'm sorry I put you in my drawer and left you there. You're so good. This is beautiful. This is stunning. End of story. And that is the complexion done. I'm shocked with how fast that was, and I really think it had a lot to do with this palette because it had everything in one. Typically, I'll be like grabbing things here, there, and everywhere, but this has really beautiful shades and it's all in one. And it's very rare, might I add, it's very rare to find a face palette that has like a good bronzer, a good blush, and a good highlight. In my opinion, I've tried them in the past and I'm not a fan because I'll typically use one shade and then I'll leave the rest of them alone. But this has so many, like the whole palette's good. So Stone Rose Beauty from Charlotte Tilbury. Like I said, I will see if they still make this. If not, I'll link something similar, but this is beautiful. So beautiful. So how exciting we could finish off the eye look now. So for the lower lash line, I'm actually gonna go with a different color. I'm gonna go in with A5, which is a bright hot pink. And I'm going to start to press that on my lower lash line. And I'm gonna bring it almost all the way in. I know a lot of the time I don't bring it all the way in. Tonight, we're bringing it all the way in. And I say tonight because it's literally almost 8 o'clock at night. Just to give it a little bit of depth, I'm going in with C5, which is a burgundy shade, because I don't want the pink to get lost when we blend it out with the next color. Now that I have that shade laid down, I'm gonna go in with the shade E4, which is a bright orange shade. And I'm gonna start to smoke out the lower lash line. I'm also gonna mix in some of A5 because I really don't want to lose that pink. And then in order to connect the lower lash line and the outer corner, I'm just gonna take the original blending brush and I'm gonna start to use circular motions and just blend out that harsh edge to really diffuse it and really make this blown out. So now that that's all smoked out, I'm gonna take the shade E1 and pop that on my inner corner. This is like a light peach color. So I actually ended up making a mistake on this eye, so I just did it to this eye and I like the way it came out, so I'm okay with it. I accidentally put the purple from the outer corner on the lower lash line and then smoked it out with pink and orange, and I was like, wait, you were supposed to do pink and orange, and that was it. So if you do it like this, it's fine. If you want to do it the other way, that's also fine. It happens. It looks good anyway, so I'm okay with it. So lastly, before I go in with bottom lash mascara, I'm going to go in with the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Lip Liner. My old artistry trainer and now really good friend, Jay Brandon, put me onto these and they are amazing. Every time I have these in my waterline, people are like, what eyeliner do you have on? These last all day and they're so electric and beautiful. So I'm going to apply that to my lower lash line. And they don't irritate my eyes at all. My eyes don't get red. They don't stain my waterline. These are eye safe in my opinion, but use it to your discretion. I'm just going in with Rimmel Lash Accelerator on my lower lashes. So now all that's left is a lip and then we are finished with this look. It only feels right to go in with a nude lip with this look. So I'm gonna go in with Sweet Tea Lip Liner from Morphe. And then over that, I'm gonna go in with the new cream lipstick from Huda Beauty in the shade Empress. Right over it. Dramatic color, different. She's feeling a little different, a little spicy, and we're okay with that. So this is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today. Color is something that I love to do that I don't do enough of, so I feel super glam right now. Be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know how you did like the video, and let me know any video requests that you have that you want to see from me. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you did like the video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.